Hi, people of God. The reason why I'm doing this video right now is to talk to you guys about some of the situations that's been going on. You have a lot of men that feel that soon as a woman walks in the church, that she's supposed to surrender herself to every man in that church. And that's not how women work. We have been oppressed for so long. Men are not standing in their positions the way that they're supposed to, and they are pressing a lot of women with their behaviors because you so desperate to want to lead, but God sometimes didn't call you to lead. He called the woman to lead some situations, and you can't move out the way and let her do that because you feel like you're going to be misplaced or displaced or whatever the case may be, when in that season that's what God is calling for, and you need to respect God. And it's becoming so ridiculous too. They don't realize when God made man and mankind, he made male and he made female. So in my life experience, I have seen what Samson went through and actually had to live that. I have been through so many different situations where, even though they're saying, hey, this is a man, as a female, I have endured that. And a lot of times, what we're dealing with is the fact that they want to do a gender thing. So every time I see a gender thing, a racism thing, or something like that, the first thing that pops into my mind, this is a bias. This is a bunch of foolishness that man made. It's bias. It's all outdoors. It's ridiculous to me. It doesn't make sense. And they don't understand that I'm not just going to surrender my power to you. I'm not going to be up under you, submissive to you. I don't want to marry you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Man should not sleep with mankind. I don't think that was just for gay relationships. I believe that was for all of us, because Apostle Paul even came back and reiterated in the New Testament, it is better to be alone. And this was a man that was married, but you couldn't understand the circumstances of that because you're too busy trying to rule over women and causing them to fall more and more into hoism. You're ready to sacrifice a woman just so that you don't have to go through, and a multitude of different things are going on in the church. So for me personally, miss me with that, because I don't want to be up under no dude, no leadership which feels like a man has to rule over me as a woman, because it's destructive to me. First of all, half these men can't even lead themselves past the point of an orgasm, because all that they think about is that. And you can't rule over me, and you don't have no self-control or discipline over yourself. And we're dealing with a season where there are a lot of men, and I'm not just going to limit it to the men, because there's women that's trying to rule over men and don't have no rights to rule over them either. So it's so much stuff that's trying to oppress the people that are people, till it's ridiculous. So for me, I tell people all the time, miss me with that. I don't believe in black, white, Hispanic type foolery. I don't believe in none of that stuff. What I believe is, either you're coming to serve God and you're serving God wholeheartedly, or skip past me and go ahead on about your business. No, I don't respect you just because you have a penal or a penis. I don't respect you because of that. The first thing you need to understand is that it takes more than that, because I have seen a lot of idiots do a lot of craziness and a lot of unbegotten things and choosing sinful lifestyles and stuff like that, and then they still want a godly woman to be submissive up under that. First of all, I don't even like fellowshipping with people that's unequally yoked with me. This goes for family members too. So when I come into an atmosphere and the first thing I hear is she's the type of woman that thinks she's better than a man, or higher than a man. And I done went through the same thing that a man done went through. And I had to sit up here and say to myself, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to serve my God alone. And now I'm dealing with certain attacks that has to go on with me because they're trying to brainwash me into dating the likes of a man. They're trying to sit up there and take me out of my mind to make me be with a man. And I'm saying, look, I don't want to date you. I'm already in a relationship with God. What am I going to do with you? What can you possibly offer me that God can't offer me? And I done heard everything that the devil will offer me. And I'm not the least bit amused. And when I say everything that the devil can offer me, oh, you'll have a house, you'll have a car, you'll have money now, you'll have this, you will have that. And let me be real with you. I spent so many years in sin, drunken to sin, that the moment that I got drunk with God, I didn't even want sin no more. He can go out the door, baby. When I actually taste God's wine, I didn't want the world no more. And they can miss me with that. So being in a relationship was never nothing that I chose to do, never nothing that I want to do. It was something that was enforced upon me. I was branded, enslaved by it. I have dealt with demons. And I'm talking about the man that sits up there and says to himself that basically, hey, she has to become whatever I want her to become. And some of them don't even have nothing good for you. They want you to be all kinds of ungodly women, women of the night and ladies of the night. But I'm not a woman of the night, nor am I a lady of the night, because I'm a woman that sits up there and brings forth light even in the darkest hour. And I don't want a man feeling like, oh, because I'm a man, these women need to be put in their place. Because the moment you start saying that, it's the moment that I realize that you're not strong enough to know that I have been in the same situations that you have been in and need the same amount of respect that you need. And because you don't respect me, I don't want you in my atmosphere. That's one thing I learned about being saved now. Usually I'm tolerant of a lot of things and a lot of people. And I'm forced sometimes to be tolerant of these people because of certain things that connect me to them. But to be totally honest with you, that's why I cannot wait to the day God gives me my breakthrough. Because a lot of people that have connections and ties to me and able to associate with me will no longer even be able to hold a conversation. When I say that spoon will be so long and the handle to that spoon will be so long, baby, it runs miles. Feed you with a long handle spoon. This spoon, you will never touch me nor see me again or hear from me again. And I still know what's going on. When I say to you that I spent so many years waking up to the fact that men were not playing their proper position, we sitting up here, I'm sitting up here reading the Bible, and the Bible even divulging, okay, Adam and Eve sinned, right? They say Adam has become like one of what? One of us. They say the man has become like one of us. The same thing that was in the Garden of Eden, sending up that line to the people, talk about it was God. See, they're not going to tell you the true story about God. There's a spirit that was in the Garden of Eden that was lying, saying that it was God and stealing from the people. That was demonic. It's lying to you, telling you it's God so that it can deceive you out of everything. And nobody's calling that. We talk about the tree of life. Okay, what is really the tree of life? God is the tree of life. So if you're trying to separate me from God, then you're trying to separate me from everything. So you're telling me, okay, don't eat of God, don't know about God, don't learn about God. And guess what? This same spirit is playing right now, every day. don't know, learn about God, God's going to enslave you. God's the one who keeping you captive. God's the one that don't want you to have, and stuff like that. And then when you take the time out to really learn of God, you learn who was truly oppressing you, who was truly holding you captive the whole time. And the sad part about it, I never knew how dumbfounded I was until I actually entered into this relationship with God and stuff like that. I can't even have peace in my home right now because you have men trying to disrespect the peace of my home. Because guess what? There's no disorder in it because they ain't in it. There's no disorder. There's no disruption in my home because they ain't in it. It's peace in my home. I can't tell you that I can't sleep at night because the enemy's so 38 hot that he can't get up in my home. So when you sit up there and you start talking about, oh, women need to submit themselves to men, I don't need to submit to nothing but God. Period. Point blank. Period and point blank. I don't have a husband. So therefore, no man rules over me because I don't have a husband. I have a God in my life. And my God is not sitting up here trying to deceive me into selling my body. Because you know you got to be certified homogless in the church. Because every godly woman you trying to turn into a lady of the night instead of sitting up there doing your position and doing what you're supposed to do. You come in there with those Jezebel spirits being men and stuff, and then you expect that a woman ain't going to call out your Jezebel spirit and tell you about yourself because we already can see the sin on you because you're not doing what God called you to do. Then on top of that, you're trying to force and coerce women who have had 10 years, 20 years in the faith without a husband. Before you say, hey, continue to preserve yourself for God, continue to save yourself for God, continue to do the work of God, you sitting up there telling them to get a husband so they can have a ruler over them. When that's the sin of Israel to begin with. We want a ruler. That's how Saul got in power. And the moment that Saul was in power, he said, oh, they're going to rape your daughters off. They're going to do this. They're going to do that to you. They're going to want half of your crops that you work for and you planting and stuff like that. And guess what? That's the same thing that's going on in this season with these men sitting up there talking about they want somebody up under them. And guess what? It ain't just the men. So men, take heed to the words that I say. It's a group of women out there with that same attitude. So don't you submit yourself to those women. If you got 10 years, brother, in the faith, if you got 20 years in the faith, and you ain't submitted yourself into now woman's bed, and you ain't submitting yourself to that foolishness, good deed. Good deed. Good deed. I'm telling you, may you prosper. May you grow in health, because I'm going to tell you something. In this season, it's not just a man who wants you to submit themselves up, a woman to submit herself up under them. It's women on that foolishness too. I'm sitting up there, I'm watching Jezebel spirits left and right. I'm watching women deceive other women out their blessing and turning them lesbian. How could you even try that with your own sister like that? And deceive her out of her blessing. It's her season, but you sitting up there, you trying to show off your Jezebel spirit to take her life. And you care nothing about her life. And this is what's going on. So when I enter into the building, and I enter into a church, or when I enter into your atmosphere, or when I enter into your communities, or whenever you see me, I want you to know something. I'm not submitting to you. I submit to God. I submit to God. I go to work every day, and I'm going to tell you something. I tell y'all about these Antichrist buildings and places that I work and stuff like that was actually vineyards of Christ, but at the same time, the Antichrist done took them over. When they see me walk up in that building, I don't work for you. I work for God. I work for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? God says, A man that don't work, don't eat. So when you see me enter into your sinful places, that's full of deception and deceit, where you sitting up there trying to take the people out of their mind and doing dirt and stuff like that, I want y'all to know one thing. I don't work for you. I go there every day and do what God say. Man that don't work, don't eat. So I make sure that I can have a meal on my table because I'm sitting up here and working. And guess what? I still wouldn't miss a meal even if I didn't work, because I serve a God that can provide for me. I serve a provider. Start knowing this. Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Rapha, mine will provide. So I have to remind people. And guess what? I come from nothing. Trust me, I was sleeping in the shed a couple of months ago. Come from nothing. The only difference with me and the person that was on the streets was the fact that I was in a shed and the rain didn't hit me as bad. And when I say as bad, I still had to let the bad boy up and the rain was still blowing. So it wasn't no difference. I come from nothing. But there is nothing that I want to stand in the way of me and my God. There is nothing that I want to sit up there and rule over me. Because let me be real with you. You all searching for kings, and I'm searching for the one that I know that will make a great ruler over me, which is God. I'm searching for my God. I'm seeking after God diligently. And I don't want a man to become my God. I don't want a man to become my king. I don't want a man to become anything to me, or a woman. Let's clarify that on all those. Or a woman, or a child, or anything else. I want my God. So you can call me what you want to call me. You can say, hey, she boasting now. She got an attitude now. She thinks she's better than everybody now. You can say whatever you want to say about me. But one thing you won't say is that she walked up in here with the wrong attitude. Guess what? Every time you see me, I try to carry forth the right attitude. There are a million days that I sit here in this apartment that I'm in right now going through pure hell. I'm on the job going through pure hell. Nobody can tell the difference. They think my life is full of rainbows, unicorns, and a box of chocolates that sits up there, and a whole bunch of turtles, because I love the turtle candies. My life is a box of chocolate or turtles. And nobody know all hell be breaking loose in my life. But I give praises to God no matter what. I'm not letting you rule over me no matter what. And when the time comes where I say, hey, we got to separate, we got to separate. Do I go through because I separate from certain things that's trying to rule over me? Yeah, I go through. Trust me, you ain't going to tell the devil no and not go through something. I go through. Trust me. When I say I couldn't go to family and say, hey, can I stay at your house? Can I sleep on your sofa? Can I do this? Can I do that? I couldn't do none of that. I had to struggle through. There was nobody that could save me but God. And people having mercy on me. And I'm going to add those people in there. People having mercy on me. Because I was like Lazarus. And some people that was very sinful. And I mean, when I say sinful, they known for sin. Was like, look, take some mercy on them. Let her slide. Let her slide. Let her ride. We gonna sympathize with this one. We won't usually do this, but they made an exception for my case. So when people start talking about ruling over me, nah, bro, I'm good with God. No, I don't need to walk into your building because I don't have the wrong attitude. I'm already humble. I don't need to be humble because I'm already humble. I humble my own self when I walk into a building. So I don't need you humbling me. I don't need you trying to take credit for me serving God. Oh, we took her through all this mess and all of a sudden she's serving God. No, baby. No, baby. Because if that was the case, all them years that I was sitting up there in sin and y'all was taking me through, I would have been serving God. So you know you didn't win that season. So when people start talking, I sit up there, I hear you, but you ain't gonna rule over me. I got a God that reigns over me. I got a God that's ruling in this season over me. And I'm just fine with serving him. Not whoever mad about it, stay mad about it. Whoever got an attitude about it, stay with an attitude about it. But I'm gonna worship. God bless. Hopefully y'all feel the same way I feel. Stop letting these people into your life that's trying to tell you young women to serve and submit yourself to these men. Some of these men's spirits, it's not right. It's full of demons. Even when you meet them in the church, it be full of demons. Man, that church is a war zone right now. We be walking up and, man, I don't even too much go to church. I have to listen to them on TV. I can't even walk up in the building because I see the demons. I'm knowing the attacks that go on. I barely be wanting to leave out the house to go to work. I know the attacks that go on. And these spirits invite themselves into your home because you got landlords that may not be living the way they're supposed to live. And these spirits inviting themselves in. They feel like they got authority to invite themselves in. They feel like they got the key to the door, so they just let themselves in. Certain stuff ain't supposed to be around you. Certain stuff is not supposed to have authority over your life. And a lot of them, that's what they're seeking. Trust God.